Hi, it's Tara Green, and it's September the 16th already, bringing you all of the aspects of the day. Now, today is a very busy day. The moon is in Capricorn. It's trying the sun already, 12:07 a.m. in the morning. This is Eastern Daylight Time, I'm going to quote. And the moon already conjunct Pluto early in the morning. So you could have been dealing with some deep, shadowy material at night. Now, the moon is already void, of course. That means it's in between signs, moving from Capricorn into Aquarius. The sun in conjuncts Jupiter in Aquarius, that's at 10:18 a.m. in the morning. Again, these inconjuncts or quincunxes, or when planets are 150 degrees apart, that means 5 signs apart, and they are in totally different elements. So the sun in Virgo cannot see, literally, Jupiter in Aquarius, and Jupiter in Aquarius cannot see the sun. So this is based on very ancient astrology. But anyway, that earth and air, that practical, down-to-earth Virgo especially, got to get the job done, nitpicking. And Jupiter in Aquarius, which has got a big, long, detached outlook. So one is like Sun in Virgo paying attention to the micro, Jupiter in Aquarius paying attention to the macro. So get a little bit of communication difficulties there. The moon does enter Aquarius at 11:23 a.m. That's Eastern Daylight Time. So again, please pay attention to when the moon changes sign to feel how it feels for you energetically, because remember, the moon represents water, and we are 70% water. So as the moon, which pulls our tides, and we are leading up to a full moon on September the 20th, a very powerful one, to feel the difference of the moon changing elements, moving from earth to air. That means practical, physical, to detached and in the mind. So the moon trines Mars in Libra, so that's a nice positive aspect for kind of getting a bigger picture in terms of relationships, trying to find some balance, being able to see where it's out of balance. The sun trines Pluto, that's at 9:53 p.m. That is a very big aspect. I have this chart here set to that very aspect. You can see the sun at 24 degrees, Virgo trining Pluto at 24 degrees as well. So that's a very big aspect. Wealth. Now, Sun in Virgo is the sign traditionally of servants, of poverty mentality, but Pluto in Capricorn is wealth, especially plutocrats. So kind of a nice inner balance if you want to use this to do some inner work on yourself. It's like see where you might have some poverty consciousness or limitations about money, and look at what your wealth aspirations are. What's the gap between that? Pluto is always a great teacher. Pluto rules the unconscious. So, of course, it's always our unconscious limited belief systems that are holding us back from manifesting what we want. Now, I don't really believe in wholesale, manifesting millions of dollars and things like that, because that's totally non-spiritual. There's only certain people's charts I've seen who really deserve to be philanthropists, because they truly only want money to help other people with, in a very unselfish way. But otherwise, power corrupts, money corrupts, spiritually, you're not going to take any of that with you. You might be able to bequeath some to your family, but it's not about falling into the material trap. That's the devil. That's why the devil in the tarot is associated with Pluto. Okay, so you can see there is a big grand trine also going on there from the moon in Aquarius conjunct the sun retrograde, conjunct Saturn retrograde around that same time. So Saturn, the moon, trining the north node in Gemini, and Lilith also, and Ceres. They've been nicely all tightly together. So the north node is our highest inspiration or spiritual goal, and they are trining Mars in Libra. So that's pretty active. Mars trine Saturn. The two malefics supporting each other could not be such a good thing, actually. It's like Jupiter in Aquarius, not, it's always an overabundance of whatever. It can be too much of a good thing. So that's an interesting one. Mars in Libra. Of course, Mars is weakened, considered to be in detriment in Libra, in Venus's sign. Mars and Saturn, you can use that to your advantage if you want to really get, again, a big picture, detachment from family imbalances. That's Libra. Justice, injustices in the world. What is the highest way we can learn to balance these complementary opposites, or the polarizing forces that are trying to tear people apart and get them to just act horribly to each other? Gemini in the tarot is the lovers, and I think that's a very important thing to associate Gemini with the lovers, because we can't have one thing without the other. I know the whole thing about gender, that's kind of arbitrary, but you have to have a polarized opposites to create anything in the natural world. We are all born of mothers. Our fathers helped create us, so we need that balance. We're both, genetically, we are half from both. You have to have that genetic makeup to have a fully functioning spiritual, mental, emotional, physical human being. So you always have to have those complementary opposites working together. Okay. So Sun, Trine, Pluto, wealth, health, in the sign of health. Check out your health. What do you need to make your health stronger? What do you need to make yourself feel healthier, wealthier? Health is wealth. So that's a good one, really. So pay attention to your health there. Okay. The moon in Aquarius squares Venus in Scorpio later on in the evening. And so that can be, Venus in Scorpio can be underhanded and ruthless and secretive and manipulative and power hungry and controlling. So you might want to look at where, because it's Venus in Scorpio, not necessarily just women, but it applies more to women because it's Venus, maybe using sex as a weapon to get what they want. There's a big thing about women using sex to get sugar daddies and all that stuff, or, to make money on fan sites and all that stuff. You might want to look at what's really underlying all that. I understand that women are empowered, but it's not a very empowering way to be empowered. The moon conjunct Saturn in Aquarius. So again, moon conjunct Saturn is restriction, it's limitations, it's obstacles, it's testing. Now all that happens in Pacific Daylight Time. It won't happen until the 17th. And then Venus squares Saturn at 11:15 p.m. That's again Pacific Daylight Time. So that's also a hard aspect, Venus in Scorpio, Saturn in Aquarius. So again, you want to look at what's really going on underneath the surface in terms of your relationships. It's love. Venus represents love, beauty, relationships, the arts. Scorpio, love and sex. If you're into bondage, if you're into hurting yourself, if you're into unconsciously self-sabotaging yourself, which is really a Pisces thing, but Venus and Scorpio can come under that too. Death wishes, Venus and Scorpio is a death wish to some extent. What needs to be transformed? Where are you holding on to deep unconscious pain? Venus and Scorpio is about sexual abuse, rape, things like that. There can be old issues like that from your childhood needs to be uncovered. Saturn represents the father, the sins of the father, the last 7 generations, the future 7 generations. What can we do to balance? I mean, all Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, in essence, all air signs about balance. How can I balance that outside of myself? How can I open up? How can I free myself? Aquarius is about freedom and liberation as well. It also is good to make commitments. Saturn Aquarius makes commitments, deep emotional commitments, where you see the long picture. Saturn Aquarius, the big picture. And it's about working with groups of people to transform the world, to transform finances. That's Scorpio, the money system. So there can be, Saturn Aquarius was the internet, can be some big crypto news there expanding, and secrets being revealed. Apparently some NFT and OpenSea were doing underhanded trading. Again, that's the security commissions. That's Saturn Aquarius legislating Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, all of that stuff. And we are heading up to that big, really powerful Pisces full moon. I am going to do one of my full moon Pisces harvest moon magic workshop. It's going to be very big because the moon will be at the last degree of Pisces, the very last degree of the zodiac. So that's a karmic completion time. So please join me. I'll be live September 19th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Zoom. You can sign up now. It's only $22. There'll be a PDF sent out. It'll be recorded if you can't make it live. It's interactive. I'll go through all the astrology. But mainly this is going to be a karmic cleansing in Pisces, really awakening our third eyes, really compassion, all these things that are really needed right now. Dreaming a new dream, imagining a new dream. So please join me there. You can get in touch with me at tarot.com. Please follow me on my blog at infinitynow.wordpress.com. Please subscribe on YouTube. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Twitter and Instagram and all that social media stuff. Okay, sending you many blessings.